and welcome back to the Graceful Tangle YouTube channel. I'm Amy Kate, a young but passionate knitter and crocheter. You can find all of the links in the description box below to the places where you can find me on social media, so be sure to check those out if you haven't already. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do that, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos. So today I wanted to talk about all things Scrappy Sunday. I like filming these videos about once a month just to kind of check in and show you my current Scrappy projects. Now, if you are new around here or haven't heard of Scrappy Sunday, it was kind of originally initiated by Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady podcast. She is amazing, such a huge inspiration to me and so many other makers. And she started Scrappy Sunday quite a while ago and originally inspired me to just take a few minutes every Sunday or every Sunday that I can fit it in to work on a Scrappy project. Now, there are so many different kinds of Scrappy projects. You can do socks, you can do blankets, you can do pillows, clothes, like wardrobe pieces, garments is the word that I'm looking for. Anyway, there's so many things that you can make out of little balls of scraps that you have from leftover projects or yarn that you aren't going to use for another project, and it is just so much fun. So, as of right now, the biggest Scrappy project that I have made is my Cdc Scrappy Blanket, and I will link that video down below from when I finished it. I also have a tutorial on how to crochet a corner-to-corner Scrappy Blanket, so check that out if you haven't already, and if you're interested. But today, I just wanted to show you the current projects that I am working on. I'm working on 2 right now, and then I wanted to briefly chat about some other scrap yarn that I have, and I'm looking for a good pattern to try for it. So, I don't know, I want to get your input on it. So, first off, I'm going to show this project. I'm housing it in this lovely bag. I don't actually know if I've made any progress on this specific project this month. I don't think I have. I don't have the time every Sunday, just with my schedule, to work on Scrappy projects. And I'm not sure I've done this one, but I'm still going to chat about it briefly because it is a super fun project, and I want to just briefly share the idea with you guys. So I am making little rectangular, I was going to say squares, but, you know, I shouldn't say squares if they're rectangles. Anyway, I'm making these crocheted rectangles using the Cdc or corner-to-corner technique. You can follow my tutorial for the corner-to-corner Scrappy Blanket and make these actual squares. I actually made this exact one in that tutorial, and again, it's going to be linked down below. So what I'm doing is taking worsted weight yarn because I am still working through all of my worsted weight scraps. They're mostly acrylic. I have really dove, who knows, into a lot of different yarn weights and yarn types the past year or so. But before that, I was almost exclusively using worsted weight acrylic yarn. And so I still have so much of it that I don't want to just, you know, throw away or discard, but that I'm not going to use for another project. So Scrappy projects work so well for it, and this is the current one that I am working on. I'm just making all of these rectangles, and then once I have a whole bunch, using all of these scraps, there's so many in this bag, once I have made a whole bunch, I will seam them all together. I'm probably going to add a border to all of them first, and then I will seam them all together into a big, beautiful blanket, and I am super excited about it. So, yeah, really excited about this project. Again, I don't think I've done any this month, but hopefully that'll change this next Sunday. And yeah, I am just having a lot of fun with this project. So, and I'm using a size J hook, I believe, for these, if you're curious. Again, I'm going to link the tutorial down below, and this is the one that I made. So I highly recommend checking that video out if you want to see exactly how I'm making these. Alrighty, so that's my first Scrappy project. The second one, and the one that has gotten quite a bit more love this month, is my cotton granny stripe blanket. So this is the first Scrappy granny stripe blanket that I have ever made. I'm having so much fun with this project. It is a blast to work on. It feels absolutely amazing because it is all 100% cotton. and it is just lovely. It's going to be so nice to cover up with this in the summer and still work on it throughout the summer. I live in the South, so the summer is super hot and humid. However, we have air conditioning inside, and it can get chilly sometimes. Very often, actually. So it's really nice to still have kind of a lightweight blanket near you. And I love having one around me, so this is going to be such a great blanket. Now, will this be done this summer? I'm not entirely sure about that, but regardless, I'm going to have so much fun working on it throughout the summer, and it's going to be so fun. So here is what it looks like right now. I haven't done a whole bunch this month. I think I actually put a marker. Here is one marker. I'm not sure if I did more than this, and this was for one specific Sunday. I honestly don't remember, but I've done a good amount of rows at least this month. I am not really doing any sort of color management with this project. That is something that, while I think is beautiful and I love the act of doing it and the look of doing it, I just don't have enough scraps in one specific color family to be able to do that. I know, speaking of Kay again from the Crazy Sock Lady, I know that she is doing a pastel blanket right now, and it is so beautiful, and I want to do that one day, but at the time that I'm in right now, it just doesn't make sense to like hoard all of these scraps to try to have enough, because I don't see that happening, and I really love the way that it looks, just kind of crazy. Now, that being said, there have been a couple of colors that I've gotten to that I've decided to not put into this blanket. And what I mean by that is, before I started, I wound a whole bunch of these cakes with all of my cotton scraps. I had them everywhere. They were basically all in one bin, but it was a really big mess, and it was kind of stressing me out. So I decided to wind them all up into these individual cakes, and then I've tried to do like one cake per Sunday, or, you know, whatever I can fit in that day. And they're very random. Like, I didn't do any sort of color management. I just grabbed a little ball of yarn, wound it, and then went on until I didn't have any balls left. And so for all of these, there's always a bunch of colors that I want to include, and then there's some that I don't. So, for example, in this specific cake that I'm holding, which is kind of a mess right now, I realize that, it starts off with this, like, lime green and white yarn. I think it's a really cute yarn, but I'm not going to be putting it into this blanket because I think it would just be a little bit too jarring. And even though it wasn't intentional, I do still have a little bit of a theme going, and I want to kind of keep it up. So I won't put that, this lime green in, but I will put, like, there's a navy in here. Let me see if I can, like, kind of push it out enough. So there's this navy. I'm going to put that in. I'm going to put this, like, off-white color in. And I will also put this, like, pink and green kind of camo-looking yarn in it as well. So, you know, it's not all going to be cohesive, but I want to make it look as pleasing to the eye as possible. So, anyway, last week I actually had a big vat of, like, lime green yarn that I decided to cut out as well. So it's just kind of making those decisions as you get to those colors, and deciding what you want to put into your blanket and what you don't. But I am having so much fun with this project. It is just a blast to work on. The granny stripe stitch is one of my absolute favorite stitches. It might be actually my favorite crochet stitch, especially for like blankets and things like that. My Lindy kimono pattern uses the granny stripe stitch, and I'm actually hoping to make another one of those kimonos this summer, and I just love it so much. It is so simple, so customizable. It's really one of those stitches that you can just mindlessly do and result in endless combinations just with color play, and it is so much fun. So I'm having a blast working on this. I'm hoping to make some really good progress over the course of May before my next update in Chit Chat. But yeah, having a lot of fun with this. And this little part right here, like totally unintentional, I love it so much. I'm going to have to figure out exactly what colors I used for that section and get more and do a whole blanket just in those colors, because it just like matches my room so well. As you can probably tell, you know, I have like pink walls. There's a wall hanging above me. It would just match so beautifully. So anyway, having a lot of fun with this blanket. It's going to be so colorful. And I am just loving it. So those are the two projects that I am currently working on. Now, I do have quite a bit of fingering weight scraps. It actually took me quite a while to kind of compile all these because I didn't use fingering weight yarn for a long time just because it wasn't as accessible. But I have since gone into sock knitting. I've done a lot of designs using some fingering weight yarn. And I have quite the little collection now. So I have this whole basket over here, if I can pick it up and show it to you. And it has a lot of fingering weight scraps in it. So what I want to know from you guys is, what do you use your fingering weight scraps for? I'm still trying to decide if I want to like still save all of them and maybe make a blanket one day, or a fingering weight blanket. Granny strap blanket is something that I really want to do soon anyway. But I don't know. Like, some of them, it's hard to decide because, like, for example, this color, I could honestly probably do a whole pair of, like, shorty socks in this one color just with how much I have left. I could also do that with, like, this is a full skein. It's just a 50-gram skein instead of 100 grams. So it would be enough for a pair of socks for me, but not for anybody else in my family. This one I knit for, let's see, I think I made my mom a pair of socks out of this, if I remember correctly. And I want a pair of socks for myself out of this so badly. And so I might see if I can get like another shorty pair, out of this. I don't know. So I just kind of want to get y'all's input and see what you use all your fingering weight scraps for, because again, I just feel like I have too much, like this, obviously. I mean, that's a lot of yarn. That's at least 40 grams. And so I don't want to just like use all of it into a blanket, but I don't know. Let me know what you use your scraps for. I want to be thinking about that over the next month, and just kind of see. I don't know. It's really hard to decide what to use them for, especially in this case, because I don't want to, you know, waste them all per se. I kind of have a habit of just saving them because I don't know what to do with it. And I don't want to do that either. Like, that isn't the right solution. So, I don't know. Let me know what you use your scraps for, because I want to hear all of the ideas. I'm trying to kind of think of something unique. Another thing that I really want to do is like a scrappy garment of some sorts. So I've seen a lot of people use scraps for Stephen West's Pinguono, I think is how it's pronounced. It's like a kind of kimono style vest. You've probably heard of it. If not, I encourage you to look up pictures because it is so inspiring to see all of the different combinations that people have done. And I really like that pattern. I don't think it would work very well for me personally and my body. I think it would kind of swallow me whole, but not in the best way. And so I'm not entirely sure. Like, I don't think that's exactly what I want to do, but I want to do something along those lines. Like a drapey, a big, oversized, more of a cardigan style than a sweater, you know, pullover style. So, I don't know. My mind's blurring with all of these ideas, but for right now, I'm going to focus on these two blankets and continue having so much fun with them. So, I hope you enjoyed this little Scrappy Sunday update. As always, I want to hear what you are working on, so let me know in the comments below, or send an email to thegracefultangle@gmail.com with all of the pictures and details. I am more than happy to keep these awesome conversations going. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all again next time. Bye!